Hey, it's Molly. How are you doing? I have a face. I do. Not just a voice, not just a hand that reads charts. I have a face. It's so nice to connect with you in this way. Thank you for being here on my YouTube channel. And I'm excited to do these new videos for you where we will dive in to some particular topics in your astrology chart. And I'll be releasing these every Friday. So thank you for joining me. I did want to do a very quick PSA that I'm so grateful for those of you who have been listening to my podcast, especially for years. I actually started my podcast in 2012. And I appreciate that you resonate with it and that you have been with me through this journey and that we're sharing these energies together. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to keep the podcast in the same audio only format. And that's because when I'm doing that kind of intuitive work, the camera's distracting for me. It's like an interference. And when you're on camera, you want to engage with the camera, you want to interact, right? But when I do the podcast, I need to focus and the camera is a distraction. So I just wanted to explain that because I know some of you have asked, and I just wanted to let you know what it's like on my side and why it's audio only. So today we're going to dive into some energies connected with your midheaven. Your midheaven is the top point in your chart, the very top point that is the energy you put out into the world that's connected with career, profession, public status. It's also, because it's at the top of the chart, it's how people look up to you. When they look up to you, there's certain qualities they see in you. That's before they really know you. But it's a bit like when you're looking up to your superior at work, to a CEO, to a parent, any kind of authority figure or person you're learning from or looking up to, you're looking up to them, and the energy that we often will identify, even unconsciously, is related to the midheaven. So we're going to talk about the midheaven in your chart today, and some periods of time in the year, specifically 3 times a year, when the midheaven energies are going to be the strongest for you. So, first assignment is to know where your midheaven is. In this example chart, it's at 21 degrees of Virgo. So you might first identify, oh, my midheaven's in Virgo, my midheaven's in Leo, wherever it's at. Then you want to notice what the degree point is. Okay, and pause this if you need to figure it out. But what we're looking at is how that point in your chart is going to be strongly activated by the transiting sun once a year. When the transiting sun, in this example, is at 21 degrees of Virgo, it lights up, right? It brings in energy and focus, and it's like alive, and you've got this sense of, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to be really clear and to put energy towards this area of my life, which in this case would be your career, profession, what you're doing in the world. You don't have to have a career or profession, by the way. This is what's interesting. I've had clients who are like, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a stay-at-home parent. What does that mean for me? Well, it's what you do in the world. It's the energy you're putting out as a parent. It's the energy you're putting out in your community. Maybe it's at the schools. Maybe it's through any organizations you're a part of. So it's not just career, okay? It's really how you're putting energy out into the world and how it's viewed by others. So the transiting sun comes through and lights up this part of your chart once a year. It gets to that degree point, and then it enters the 10th house. Now, depending on the house system you use, you could have a midheaven that you look at, it's in your 9th house, or it's in your 10th house. It does vary by house systems. This is where astrology gets complicated / interesting. So you're gonna go with whatever that is for you. And then the transiting sun, as it moves through this point, it brings your focus and your natural energy to matters of the 10th house. So the purpose of this is to understand when your energy is naturally going to come alive and want to contribute and shine in the world, in your career, and in what you're offering to the world at large. This can help you understand energies around when you want to do more work projects, something you want to plan on your calendar, something that you know you're going to have more energetic focus for. So in this chart, when the sun gets to 21 degrees of Virgo, which happens middle of September 11th or so, September 12th, then the transiting sun is very active and alive there. It's good to know that for yourself. It's good to know, okay, the middle of September, every year, I'm going to have more energy for my profession and my career. Do you need to launch a project then? Do you need to plan something? Do you need to maybe prioritize work? How are you going to make the most of this energy? And that's going to help you understand more about your own energetic cycles. So, the first thing to be aware of is when the transiting sun moves across your midheaven and into your 10th house. Now we're going to talk about two more energy periods here in the year that support your career and this part of your chart. So, as I said in this example, the midheaven is in Virgo, 21 degrees. The other two powerful energy points are when the transiting sun is moving through the other two earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn. So in your chart, maybe you have an air sign up here, a fire sign, water sign, whatever. The other two times of the year where there's going to be support and natural energy for this part of your life is when the transiting sun is in that same element. So then in this chart, it's like, okay, we know that it will be when the sun is in transiting Capricorn and transiting Taurus. And then more specifically, when the transiting sun is at 21 degrees of Capricorn, it makes an exact trine to the midheaven. And when it's at 21 degrees of Taurus, it makes it another exact trine to the midheaven. Now here's what's interesting. Those supportive trines could be in the first house, second house, third house, fourth, fifth, or sixth house. It really could be in various houses depending on how your chart is constructed. But it's when the transiting sun is below the horizon, it's in the first 6 houses. Here's what I mean. Like, Molly, what do you mean? This is what I mean. The supportive trines that go to the midheaven are happening within your own energy. So the supportive trine at 21 degrees of Capricorn, in this chart, it's in the second house. The second house, money, possessions, what you buy, where you make investments, the money you're saving. So when that transiting sun is at 21 degrees of Capricorn, trining the midheaven, and it's in the second house, it's assessing your own finances and assessing, do I ask for a raise? Do I consider another position with more money? Where do I look at where my finances are going? How much am I saving? Do I need to save more? There could be something around making financial decisions that could be easier when the transiting sun is in the second house, connecting with your midheaven. Then the transiting sun continues on, and it gets to 21 degrees of Taurus later in the year. And in this chart, it's in the 6th house. The 6th house is about your skill set, your expertise, your niche, what you're learning and developing. Do I need to take more types of classes to understand my specialty? Do I need to change something in my daily routines that would be more efficient, that would work better with what I do every day? Do I need to change my routine so that I'm not doing so much at work and I have time to work out in the morning, or I have time to walk the dog in the afternoon? So the 6th house is about assessing where your energy goes on a daily basis. Twice a year, the sun is going to make a trine to that midheaven. And every time it makes a trine, it's working with your internal energy. What people can't see. Midheaven is what people do see. The first 6 houses are things that you're adjusting for yourself, where you're prioritizing your energy, you're getting clear on your foundation, what you need, where your resources are going, many things. But the idea is that when you're aware of this cycle, things connect, things hit, things flow. It's great because you're like, okay, if I need to make some financial decisions, if I can wait until the transiting sun is in Capricorn, trining the midheaven, I'm going to have more clarity. I'm going to understand more of what I need to do, what I want to do. That doesn't always work. You can't always put off some of these decisions and things you need to take care of. But I want to show you how the transiting sun is lighting up different parts of your chart. And as the transiting sun connects with your midheaven, it's shining a spotlight. It's like blaring a spotlight on midheaven, career, profession, what you do in the world. These are energies that can support you in making decisions and understanding what's best for you and what you need to change, so that what you're giving out in the world is still working with your own energy internally. The first 6 houses in the chart are self. Your sense of self, your values, your communication style, where you go at the end of the day, what you call home. It's where you're taking care of your energy, you're understanding who you are. And it's basically when you have that in check with yourself, when these houses are taken care of, you can shine brighter up here. You have more energy to give up here. You're not sacrificing yourself. You're not diminishing your own needs. You're checking in with yourself as you go. Because again, that 10th house, there's a lot that can be put out into the world. You want to be recognized. You want to make a difference. You want to be seen. You want to do well at work. This is where we have our accomplishments, our goals, our priorities outside of us. But everything in the chart's connected. And if you're able to take care of yourself as you go, you're going to feel a strength there. You're going to have more confidence, and that's going to show up in the midheaven energies as well. So, to review, the midheaven is important for energy you put out into the world. The transiting sun comes across this point in your chart once a year, and it lights up this part of your life, this part of who you are. Transiting sun continues on. 4 months later, there will be a trine to your midheaven. 4 months later, you check in. How's this working for me? Is this right? What do I need to change? What do I need to adjust? And then 4 months later after that, another check-in, another understanding of how you're using your energy. And it all helps with the ongoing cycle. So I wanted to highlight that because it's a big time. Have you noticed? It's a big time on our planet. It's a big time in our careers, in our soul missions, and what we're really focusing on. But you have ongoing support. And when you can keep track of the transiting sun, and how it's supporting your energy, there's gonna be more flow, there's gonna be more grace, and there's gonna be more ease, because you're really then stepping into the natural cycle of how your energy moves. So I wanted to highlight that, give you something to look at and understand. And another way to work with your astrology chart intentionally and to make the most of these energies. So we just focused on transiting sun, transiting moon, moves all around your chart every 28, 29 days. You could follow transiting Mercury, transiting Venus, transiting Mars, any transiting planet, if you want to watch how it interacts with your midheaven or any other point in your chart. With astrology, you can always go deeper. You can always get more complicated. But I hope that this was simple enough to understand so that you can be aware of those periods of time. So you're identifying the degree and astrological sign on the midheaven. Then you're looking at the other two astrology signs in that same element, earth, air, fire, water. And you're looking at how the sun will then naturally support what you're doing in the world when you're working intentionally with these cycles. So I hope this has been beneficial. I hope this has given you some good things to see in your own chart and another way to work with your energy. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back with another video every Friday. In the meantime, I will still have my podcast episodes every Monday and Wednesday, as well as additional videos here on YouTube that I hope benefit you and what you're moving through. Thank you so much. I'll see you back here soon.